uwager.lv, sportsbook, and casino. Sign up today at uwager.lv, the premier online sportsbook, taking wagers since 1998. The most player-friendly lines, weekly juice specials, and a true dime line in MLB. Unique casino platforms with thousands of games. Play poker, high stakes, low stakes, or tournament play. uwager.lv, what we offer. Free same-day payouts. Customer service and wagering support, 24/7, year-round. Free monthly rebates on your action and daily casino rebates. Contests, free bets, best bonuses, and giveaways. Generous referral program. Get an 80% free play bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000. Sign up today, and use promo code SPORTSWEB. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.
Are you an athlete or professional struggling with life or career transition? Life isn't always easy, but hope is always present. Best Hope Counseling will help you move forward. For nearly a decade, licensed marriage and family therapist Larry Baumgartner has helped clients empower change and discover solutions using a solution-focused therapy approach. Conversations will focus on what you desire to change, not just the problems that brought you into counseling. From anger to depression or other emotions, Best Hope Counseling is there for you. Contact Larry personally on his direct line at 727-946-1346. Again, 727-946-1346 for a telehealth appointment in Florida and Minnesota, or in person an appointment in Minnesota. Take time out and begin your game plan to reconnect, rebuild, and restore happiness in your life. BestHopeCounseling.com. going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Minnesota Vikings 20-17. How do you feel, Bucs Nation? It's got to feel good, doesn't it? It didn't start out so well, but it's not how you start. It's how you finish. And Baker Mayfield and this Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense finished strong, didn't they? Open phone lines. How do we start off this show? Let's get off to a good start. Unlike that Bucs offense, that's okay. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. On tonight's show or today's show, we're going to recap it. We're going to talk with you Bucs fans out there. What did you think of the game? I got on social media, and I thought that Kyle Trask was going to be the starter by halftime. Ye have little faith. I told you about Baker Mayfield. This offense may get off to a good start. We're going to hold off on the calls right now because I'm going to set the table, and you guys are going to come and eat. That's how we're going to do it here, all right? But you get off to a bad start. You're down 10-3, and then your offense later on, right before halftime, gets a spark. Can we all say it together? Pay the man.
Here comes the money.
Mr. Mike Evans. With the touchdown there, you tie the score. You feel good about it. You not only feel good about your defense because your defense is giving up, 273 before halftime? All right, guys, hold up on the calls. Hold up. I got it. I know I got the number, but I want to set the stage here. You know what? Screw it. Let's not set the stage. Let's go out to Paul Stewart from buckpower.com. We'll get him on. We'll read the comments. We'll take your phone calls. But you had to feel good about it. Paul, I got to get your thoughts. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend. Just everybody wants to call up at the same time. I'm trying to set the table here, but you got to feel good about this win. In fact, you told me off here you didn't know how the Bucs won that game. Welcome to the Sports Web, my friend.
Well, thank you very much, Peter. Yeah, it's a lot easier to talk about a Buccaneer victory, which is why everyone wants to phone in. But then again, if they lose, everyone wants to phone in to criticize. It's a lot easier when the Bucs win. I'm trying to find out how the Bucs won that game. The scoreboard says so. There were enough things to get into. But as you say, we're 1-0. They're coming back from Minnesota with a victory. Last time we did that was 2005. We ended up winning the division.
You're absolutely correct about that. And it seemed like a game where, look, the Bucs went into it. They wanted to establish their physicality with the run game. They did that later on in the game. I thought they did a better job in the second half. First half, 30 yards until you get that drive by Mike Evans, who is Mr. Dependable. And say whatever you want to. He's 30 years old, 31 years old. The guy is going to catch the ball. In fact, he should have had 2 touchdowns in this game, because he usually never drops a pass there. Quick slant by Baker Mayfield later on in the game. He drops that. But besides that, you go into overtime, and again, you have to feel good about where you're at because, first and foremost, Cousins is throwing for 273 yards, but the Bucs defense calls this 2 fumbles, and probably one of the biggest plays of the game, Christian Itzian, a rookie slot corner, makes a huge play because it looks like the Vikings are going to go in, at least get 3 points out of that. They get absolutely nothing. And how do you like that? You like that, Kirk Cousins? I know Bucs fans like that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that first half, the last time I saw the Vikings run that riot was in the 8th century when they invaded England. They were dominating us through the first 30 minutes of that football game. That interception really did turn momentum. It was a huge play. And as you say, the Bucs hung in there. They were clinging on like Sylvester Stallone in the film from the 80s. But they hung on in there. They had the chance to turn it around. They did so by taking the lead. And then a couple of big calls, a couple of strange calls that we'll get into a minute. And it led to a 57-yard field goal. But let's go back a week, Peter. Who was it who predicted on this podcast that the Bucs were going to win on a field goal by Chase McLaughlin?
Oh, you did, and a lot of people say, well, why did Todd Bowles in the first place decide? Right there, Mr. Paul Stewart of buckpower.com. To me, the official historian of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the unofficial Bucs. Get on that. Make that happen. Not only get that done, but also get the Evans contract situation done. We'll get back to that in a moment, but you're exactly right, and that's the reason why. And again, Call up on the phone lines. I know I didn't take your phone calls. I like to kind of set the table with the monologue, but that's okay. We won't do that today. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. That is the reason why you upgrade at kicker in the first place. That's the reason why you move on. I tell you what, Paul, let's take some calls. Let's make it quick here, guys. Give me your thoughts. I want as many calls as I can get. Alexander's getting upset. Let's go out to Ed. Ed leading it off here on the Evolution. What do you have to say after your Bucs pull off a victory in Minnesota, 20-17? Go, my friend.
Oh my gosh, man. What a game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a game, man. The whole game was a battle. You just gotta love those. And it wasn't even, it's not like it was a nail biter.
Well, it's a nail biter. It was definitely a nail biter because it was back and forth, and I think a lot of
back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah, but you just knew that the Bucs were just gaining momentum throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
Things were happening. But let's face it, folks. If there wasn't 5 turnovers in this game, I'm not sure the Bucs would be in this game.
Well, I mean, and I think, you want to sit there and say, well, that's on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think that's a fair statement because, look, Carlton Davis told you a couple months ago, we're going to wreck stuff, okay? I'm not going to say what he said, and that is what he was talking about. They played with the chip on their shoulder, especially that defense. Even that first drive they got after Kirk Cousins. Cansey, who went out later on in the game, he gave Mr. Cousins there a nice old kidney shot. So you knew right there from the very beginning, I'll tell you right now, Devin White, if Devin White wants a contract extension, he definitely put his best foot forward today with over 10 tackles. He was everywhere imaginable. He played unbelievable with the tackling. The tackling overall was great. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I really was impressed. Wasn't so impressed with the offense. I don't think that, we heard all this hype, how we were going to have a running game, run first attitude. I didn't really see that. In the second quarter, you saw that a little bit. In the third quarter, you saw that a little bit. In the fourth quarter, you saw a little more. But it just didn't seem like that they were confident in their running game.
Let me ask you, because I'm going to ask Paul here in a moment. What did you think of the ballsy call? And I thought it was ballsy by Todd Bowles, because I've been very critical of how conservative Mr. Bowles is. You go for 4th and 1 at your own 32. You're late in that fourth quarter there. You depend on your defense, but you go for it, and you get it with Baker Mayfield. What did you think of that call by Todd Bowles?
Great call.
See? He likes it.
I definitely like the call. I wouldn't have been disappointed either way because the game is, even though it was a game on the line call, it's something that at that point in the game you got to do. And it kept the momentum for the Bucs for the rest of the game. It kept the momentum going. And also, I got to say something. I've never watched Baker Mayfield play this much.
Oh.
And I got to say, this guy's got balls.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Ed. Yeah, now I want to preface this by saying that Ed was one of those people on social media saying Kyle Trask should be the starter. No, I'm just joking. He was not.
I never said that.
Right. You were definitely asking the question. I think a lot of Bucs fans were asking the questions, especially starting off the game 0-6 and then finally getting a first down on 3rd down. Great stuff, Ed. Anything else here on the Evolution?
Yeah. Once again, I was talking to you about the defense. I saw a lot of game tackling. We didn't see that last year. We saw a lot of ferociousness with the defense. They had a pass rush more than they ever had in this game, I think, than they did all of last year. And when he made some adjustments before halftime, which really blows my mind because they didn't do that for the past 3 years.
Well, there you go. There's Todd Bowles in coaching right there. So it's kind of solved. So you're not so hard on Todd Bowles anymore. Now you're kind of liking Todd Bowles' coaching. I get it.
He's proving something.
Good stuff there, Ed. Appreciate the call. Use that second one.
Oh, yeah.
Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 409-7528. We talked about it off air also. You didn't necessarily like the call. State your case. Even though they get it, let's say they don't get it. Well, Paul, you're going to have to hold up because we're going to take calls all day long. And by the way, if you have a question for this guy right here, he's like a Bucs encyclopedia. Feel free to ask him anything you want. Curtis, welcome to the Evolution after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Minnesota Vikings on the road 20-17. Have at it, my friend. Go.
What's up, Pete?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Like you, I'm sitting there watching the first half, and I'm like, bro, I'm watching the first quarter. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, did Byron Leftwich start calling plays? Did they decide to put those plays in there with Byron Leftwich? I mean, what were they doing on that? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe they were testing the defense out. Whatever.
Well, I want to tell you something. I'm going to be because look, I'm a guy that's a Baker guy, but I'll say this. He missed a lot of throws. He came out high with some of those throws. Did his offensive line help him out, especially on those rollouts with defensive ends and defensive linemen in his face? Absolutely not. But he missed a golden opportunity to have a touchdown there with Keith.
After his nerves calmed down, he looked better.
Yes.
After his nerves look, but I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
And this is what I want all my Bucs fans to understand. That kicker won this game.
Well, 57 yards. You got to love that, right?
Ryan Suckup would not have hit a 57-yard field goal.
Paul, I mean, I got to chime in here. Paul, you talked about this. Paul had the prediction on buckpower.com. By the way, if you're not going to buckpower.com and checking what we got out there with the no quarter given and everything he's doing there, then you're wrong, Bucs fans. You talked about it. I mean, how impressed were you with McLaughlin, 57 yards, Paul?
Very.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I wasn't quite expecting that long a field goal to win a game. He actually has become the 7th Buccaneer kicker ever to go for a 57-yard or longer. I think the one decision I want to ask you, Curtis, as a fan, is we're all happy with Todd Bowles going for it on 4th down because it worked. Would we all be so happy if it failed? Because I was screaming at my TV from over here in England, punt the ball away. And just because it worked does not change my opinion. Was it a good decision? What were you thinking when they lined up to go for it on 4th and 1 with 8 minutes to go?
Great question, Curtis. Go ahead.
I either told myself, well, the one thing I knew is they kept this kid because this kid had a big leg. Second of all, they kept this kid. And they were saying during pregame how he was hitting from there with no problem.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Curtis, this was before. Go back before the field goal. How did you feel about the call to go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 35-yard line? How did you feel about that?
It showed me that Todd Bowles had faith in his players.
I like it. I mean, and I think I think it kind of
that he had faith in his players. And you know what? There's a lot of coaches nowadays that would not have made that call.
That's it. I mean, and we saw it last year. You tried to make a fourth down, and it didn't necessarily work out in your favor. This time, you go with Baker. And I thought, guys, looking at that spot, I don't know about you, Curtis. Do you think the refs kind of screwed them on that spot? Because I thought they got it with Rashard White. It looked like a first down to me, and then they said, no, it's a 4th down. I thought they kind of got screwed on the spot. What did you think?
They got screwed out of the spot, but you know what? I'm not worried about the spot. I don't care about the spot. You know what I did care about?
Yes.
I cared about the hit Justin Jefferson laid on that kid before going into half.
Well, that was kind of dirty, was it not?
Because if anybody else would have laid, if a regular player if that kid would have laid that hit on Justin Jefferson, do you know what would have happened to him?
He would have been thrown out of the game.
Thrown out of the game.
Yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Agree.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
I think the difference is that's a penalty in college football for targeting. It's not a penalty in the NFL. And what I actually saw was that he was trying to force a fumble with that hit because he knew that Izzy hadn't seen him. So it was a legal play from professional football standards. And to be honest, I thought it was a good play on his part. He was trying to force a turnover.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what Curtis is looking at is maybe a defenseless player, but and it looked like he was kind of trying to blindside him a little bit. But good on its
that hit was legal. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
Um,
it looked like it looked like an illegal hit, but you're exactly right. It is a legal play. But I tell you right now, I would have been upset
I
if I
will
were
say this.
Jefferson too.
I will
Yes.
say this before I go. I'm at work.
Yeah.
I will say this before I go. We did talk about this earlier in the
We
year.
did.
Pete.
We did.
The one thing about Baker is that he could get out of there when that pocket breaks down.
Yes, he can, and he showed
he
that
can.
later on in the game
You
with
know
the
what?
run
My hat
pass
go- my
option.
hat-
Yeah, go ahead.
My hat goes off to that guy
Mm-hmm.
because it looked ugly at the very beginning of the game.
It did.
And I think if Bruce Arians was the head coach of this team still, he would have pulled Baker after the first half.
Well,
I really think he would have.
you can't go 6 for 15 to start. You can't go 0 for 6 on third downs, and your total offense has 30 yards. But was that because of Minnesota, what they were doing? Was that because of Baker? Was it because of the offensive line? Was it because they didn't get enough reps in the preseason, and maybe that's the reason why they started out so slow?
And the last thing I'm going to say before I let you guys
Yeah,
go
Kurt.
is, well, besides go Buccaneers, is
Yeah.
I believe that if this defense continues to grow together,
Uh-huh.
wow.
Wow is right. Good stuff, Curtis. Appreciate the call as always, my friend. Open phone line if you want to get in, talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. Ask for calls. Get calls, Paul. Let's go out to Eric. Eric, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Minnesota Vikings 20-17. Go.
It was a great upset win.
Great upset win. Well, if you watch this show, it wasn't an upset. If you watch these broadcasts and if you listen, if you watch this guy right here that's on the screen, let me show you him. The Bucs unofficial historian right there from buckpower.com. He put out the prediction that it was going to be won by a kick, and guess what? It was won by a kick. So really not an upset, but I get it. The national narrative coming into it is, well, the Bucs don't have Tom Brady, so the Bucs are going to stink it up. They're going to stink up the joint. And look, the national media for that first half was kind of right with the way the Bucs came out, especially offensively, maybe not defensively. But go ahead, give me your thoughts here, Eric.
Those stupid penalties. One from the one on the defense that showed that was not a pass interference.
Right.
And the pass interference should have been called for the defense pass interference for Mike Evans. That should have been a touchdown for there. It was for the no call. And the one challenge thing, and that was the first down, by the way. That was stupid. That was a stupid though. Referee called it the fumble with that catch. It was incomplete pass. That was a fumble.
With Cade Otton early on in the game. Let me ask Paul here. Stand by, Eric. Paul, what did you think of that call? Did you think that was a catch in a football play? I mean, I thought it was a catch.
No, I totally agree with what Gene Steratore said. The reason they bring these guys in as ex-referees, they know what they're talking about. Otton, he was hit as his second foot came down, so he had not established possession, so in that case it's an incomplete pass. And I've been in a replay official situation when they had a game over here in England, so they have a lot more camera angles than you do than maybe CBS was showing. And on the play where Rashad White's elbow went down, he was short of the first down. And if you heard, they actually said the call stands in that there's nothing to overturn it. You have to listen for confirmed, overturned, or stands, and that was stands. So I've got no problem with either of those calls. It turned out right in the end, but there's no way you could ever hang a decision on a play like that. The referees are giving what they see, and to be honest, those were good calls.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the Itzian call. Hold on, Eric. Hold on. The Itzian call for pass interference. You could see he was grabbing a little bit, but to me, that was kind of a weak call, and it was also late. So I don't necessarily. I think at that point, you have to swallow your whistle. Of course, that's when Alex Mattson goes in for the touchdown to tie the game there. That's a critical call at a critical time. I thought it was disappointing, but it is neither here nor there because the Bucs find a way to win. Eric, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you. Yes, go ahead.
I knew you had a lot of calls.
Yes.
Mike Evans, I'm trying to say that pass interference didn't give Mike Evans the flag. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. I thought they were tangled up a little bit. There was some pushing. I mean, if you're going to call on
incidental contact. Incidental contact.
Yeah, you should call it the same way, but you have to go back to it. I don't know. You know, it seems like Evans. It seems like Evans is always trying to get a call and can't get the pass interference call. I'd say right now.
Don't forget, the defender has got a right to go for the ball as well. Izzy definitely held the guy, so there was definite contact. You can see why that one was called. But yeah, I mean, Evans, if he doesn't catch the ball, the first thing he does is look for a flag. He's been watching soccer players looking for penalties in European football.
Or he's been watching LeBron James there. Thanks a lot for the call, Eric. Appreciate you. Let's, yes.
We're ready for them Bears at home. Let's go. We're ready for them Bears.
All right. I like it, Eric. Appreciate the call. As always, let me go back out to the phone lines here. Hold on. Okay, let's get this call in. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Across the Ponds, Mr. Paul Stewart of BuckPower.com. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey there, Peter. This is your truly the animal. Hello there, Paul. Your truly see you once again. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I can't really hear you that well. You got to speak up in your phone. It's kind of mumbled here. It's kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize for that.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Animal. How you doing? Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. After your Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Minnesota Vikings 20-17, your thoughts?
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, he sounded like he was in the cave where the Dallas Cowboys have been for the last 30 years, Peter.
He did. All right, go ahead, Animal.
You know, I thought that the defense played lights out. Made no mistake about it. I thought they played extremely well. I thought the offense came together in the second half. But, you know, for the protection of the offensive line, Paul, there's still issues as we go into the season.
You saw that. I mean, you saw that in the first half, Paul. Do you still have some? Some concerns about that offensive line? Because we saw it today with Luke Gedeke. I thought we saw a hole there.
Yeah, we sure did.
It also when you had to go quarterback rollout, because the Bucs, we were told they wanted to do that. They did a lot of that today. Baker had to get creative because there seemed like there was a defensive lineman in his face, whether that was a play call or whether the Vikings weren't, going for that play. But I thought the offensive line did a pretty damn good job today, to tell you the truth, with the start that they had.
Don't forget, we've got 4 new starters on that line. Feeler's coming at left guard, Cody Mork's a rookie, Gedeka's moved to right tackle, and Tristan Wirfs has switched positions. So what you noticed, and the one thing I'm really impressed with, was how Dave Canale stuck to the run. And I say, as you know, I was a big supporter of Byron Leftwich this year, but I'll let that one go now. I've died on that hill. Canale stuck to what he called, and this is where Matt Ryan called such a good game as an analyst today for CBS. He spotted what the Bucs were doing. They weren't going to give up with it. They stuck with the run, and by the time they got to the fourth quarter, those 2 and 3 yard runs were becoming 5 and 6 yard runs. It's the first game of that offensive line together. Give them time. I saw enough to be very confident they'll get better as we go through the next few weeks of the season.
Agree, completely agree. All right, Animal. What else?
And you know what, guys? Keep one thing in mind. Cody Mark was playing with back spasm, who still played the entire game. What does that say to the I don't know, the vibe that he was going through, that's wanting to play the entire game?
I think it says that a rookie wants to play, right? He's coming in already injured.
Yeah.
You mentioned back spasm. It's tough, but this team wants to be tough. They want to be physical at the point of attack. They did that later on in the game, and I think that was what the difference between the team last year and this year. I get it, it's one game, but it's on the road, and at the end of the day, you need to gain that first down. You go with your quarterback with a run-pass option, with a stiff arm, and then you have another big third down. He takes off to get the first down. I mean, that's guts. This team, what it tells me is basically this team has guts. And you know what? They're a direct reflection of that coach today, because you know what? He had some guts for going for that fourth down. Animal, anything else here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television?
Oh, well, I want to ask you one final thing.
Sure.
I want to get reaction from you, Peter, and reaction from Paul.
Yes.
Your reaction. How do you think Mike Evans played today? And do you think that he's going to get better as the season goes on?
I think he's going to be Mike Evans. He had a drop today, which could have been a touchdown on a quick slant. But he's always that consistent player for this team. Is going to continue to be that, and he's going to go down as one of the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneer offensive
I
players in their
agree.
history, if not their entire history, with being the greatest offensive player. So I think Evans is on his way to another 1,000-yard season. And yeah, you had the big drop there, but overall, it's Mike Evans. I mean, what do you expect? He's one of the best wide receivers in the league that nobody talks about. Animal, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you. Use that second call. Open phone line if you want to get in and talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, and you should be able to, but if you can't, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Paul Stewart of BuckPower.com. Tell you what, Paul, let's go out and read some of these comments unless we get some phone calls here, and we can continue to talk about this game and get your thoughts, overall thoughts. I didn't see it pop up. Well, here it is, Jason. Bucs shocked the NFL with Week 1 win. Baker baked. Loving the game today. I mean, did they shock the world today? I mean, again, the national media, national narrative was out there. Well, can't really talk that long because here comes a phone call. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Paul Stewart of BuckPower.com. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is George, and I'm...
Miss?
No, this is George Caljohn. They just call me G.
Oh, G. All right, G. Appreciate the call here. Your thoughts on the Bucs' big win over the Vikings?
Well, we're off to a good start.
I agree.
I was worrying about the offensive line, but they held up pretty good.
They did. Absolutely. You didn't hear from Tristan Wirfs today. You heard Luke Gedeke a couple times there, but I thought the offensive line did some good work today, not only pass protection, but opening up some holes there for Rashard White and Sean Tucker later on in the game.
Yeah, but we also got to give a shout out to that secondary.
Oh, agree.
Because we know Jefferson's going to get his regardless.
Well, yes. Yes.
But holding that offense to only 17 points.
Yep.
They did work.
And they did great work, and they also took Jefferson out of the game there for the second half. It was either the Vikings or the Bucs. You give credit to where credit is due, and you're exactly right. And Paul, Bucs fans are going to look and they're going to say he got over 100 receiving yards. He basically dominated the game, but besides the early touchdown there from the rookie, there wasn't much else besides Jefferson and a couple other players. But they let Jefferson get his. But everybody else on that offense really didn't get theirs, right?
Exactly. We knew.
Yeah, the Bucs wanted to rotate their defensive coverages in the second half and switched it around. And the big play that Jefferson had, where he got loose from the 42-yard play inside, was where they changed the coverage. So that was what you saw where he got loose.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Where Jefferson got loose on the 40-yard play was where they had a mix-up on the zone coverages. And in the second half, they changed it around. So, George, the question I wanted to ask you now is, you're confident with what you've seen from the Bucs for promise for the rest of the season. Would you be that confident if the result hadn't gone that way today? Did you see enough that the Bucs would be good if they were 0-1 rather than 1-0?
I'll tell you what. Show me something against the Saints, and then we'll talk about it then.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Bears next. You got the Bears next week. You open up against the Chicago Bears. We'll see how they're playing right now versus the Packers, as we'll give you an update. But you're exactly right. You still got to win that division. You got Carolina winning today, big over Atlanta. Not surprised by that. Desmond Ridder didn't look too good. Not great returns there by Falcon fans. And then you also have the Saints. It looked like they won their game versus the Titans. So a lot of Bucs fans. What else did you see today, George? And then we'll let you go.
Kicking game. Glad to have it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the reason why you upgrade to Chase McLaughlin in the first place from 57 yards. And it's nothing against Ryan Suckup, but you're limited in what you can do with Ryan Suckup last year because, yes, he's good from 30, 40 yards, but that's the reason why you upgrade in the first place so you can get that long field goal of 57 yards. And I tell you right now, somebody said it best. That field goal is good from 65 yards. He nailed it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But if he stays with it, because we're going to get into a lot of these last-minute games.
You might get into these
Fine.
last-minute games. You may depend on your defense, especially causing turnovers. You would like your offense to be a lot better. Let me ask you one last question. Even if you don't get it or not, let's say you don't get it, do you still like the 4th down call by Todd Bowles?
Yeah, you showed guts there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. Good stuff, George. Thanks a lot for calling. Use that second call if you like to. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I think he's a first-time caller there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. One guy that I talked about on the podcast, on the No Quarter Given podcast and the Sports Web, Antoine Winfield Jr. was going to have a big game. Not only did he play at the University of Minnesota, but his father played with the Vikings. And certainly, Paul, he showed up big today.
Yeah, that was a great safety blitz. And it was interesting when they made the comment that he's the first Bucs safety to have 10 sacks. I immediately had to go and check that. And it's true, because did you realize John Lynch only had 6 sacks in his entire Buccaneer career? Now, that one surprised me. And I'll be featuring John Lynch in the next couple of days in the countdown of the top 100 Buccaneer players that we're doing on buckpower.com. Winfield is a tremendous player. And he's one of these players, he plays bigger than his size, because I've stood next to him in the locker room. He's no bigger than me, and I'm no NFL player, but he has the heart and he's got the smarts. And like you say, he was going back to his home state, the town where his dad played. A tremendous selection a couple of years ago, a huge part of the Buccaneer defense. And again, a great defensive call to send them on the blitzes. But while we're talking defense, we've got some great comments in. Eldon's been putting some comments about how good the defense was today. Did you notice how much defensive rotation there was? You saw Logan Hall in there, Mike Green in there. You know, there was such rotation on the line. That was the depth they needed. And that's where it came through. And of course, at the end of the day, you've got 45 and 54 in the middle. You add those two numbers together, you get 99. That's a good number for Buccaneer defense, isn't it, Peter?
Absolutely. It's a great number. And I tell you what, everybody is blowing up the number right now. So let's go out to a welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on with yours truly, along with Buck Power own Mr. Paul Stewart. Go.
Hey, what's up, Peter, man? I'm Byron, and I'm from out in Phoenix, Arizona.
Wow, Byron, welcome. Arizona, got Arizona, Georgia, all over the place. Love this.
Love away as I am.
I've been following you for the last few years, man, and it's been a pleasure. You've been awesome, man. But
Thank you.
I just wanted to say it's my first time calling in, but I just wanted to say one thing, man. Not only was it a great win, but, dude, we finally have a kicker who can kick past 50 yards.
Right.
And it's,
yeah.
Everybody sits there, Byron, and you know this all too well. When you get rid of Ryan Suckup, you're like, oh, no, this could be the curse again, right? So this could be another curse, another kicking curse. You get rid of Ryan Suckup. You're exactly right. That is a weapon, especially when you can get a guy that's kicking from 57 yards, and it wasn't his only field goal today. Of course, the Bucs take his field goal off the board with a critical penalty, which the Bucs definitely capitalized on to take the lead, I believe, after the Vikings are offsides. So shame on them, but good for the Bucs. But thanks a lot for following for all those years. I really appreciate it, my friend. And definitely don't be a stranger. What else did you see in this game today?
And honestly, man, I think, and this will be my last thing, and I'll let other callers hop on. Man,
yeah.
But speaking from the heart, man, that route Mike Evans ran today and scored that touchdown on, that showed me everything I needed to know, that there ain't a step lost with that guy. We need to pay him. We need to lock him up. We need to do whatever we can to keep him. I keep hearing different rumors here and there that they're like 3 to 7 million apart from the guaranteed. I don't care what it takes, man. We got to keep him here. I mean, I just think for the culture, for the community, for the organization, we need another person to stay long-term like Rondé did. And I was alive and I was a kid, and I remember when Sapp left, and I remember when Lynch left, and I remember when we cut Derek Brooks because he was pretty much a shell of himself that following season. But this guy here, man, has been nothing but a team player. He's never been in trouble. Never had any off-field issues. Like, this is the type of player you're supposed to take care of. And I just think that they got to figure that out. If I'm the Glazers, You saw it today, man. Pay that man. That's all I got, Peter, man. I appreciate you, brother. Have a good day.
Hey, man, appreciate you. Definitely don't be a stranger. Be a full-time caller and also use that second call, my friend, all right?
Absolutely, I will. See you later, brother.
All right, see ya. Good stuff there. I love Bucs fans. You know, they follow this show, and that's the reason why we do the show in the first place. We want you to call in. Don't be a stranger. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. I am on air, Leo Haggerty. If you want to call in, you can definitely call in right now. If you're listening to me, definitely call in. Paul, give me some other thoughts here. We were talking about the kicking. We were talking about the defense and the rotation. I saw Mr. Zero there. I'm telling you right now, Yaya Diaby is a scary force of nature. That is a man among boys. He's going to make some impacts this year. What else did you see out of that defensive line? You talked about it. Logan Hall showed some flashes of brilliance today, right?
Yeah, I mean, the reason Leo hasn't called in yet, he's still getting over the shock of USF winning a game yesterday. So once he's recovered, he'll join us on the call. Because I did notice the Bulls won a game yesterday. What I'll be interested to look at the All-22 film later in the week to see, some of the different schemes the defense was running. The guy previously who just called was talking about Mike Evans' route to the end zone. That was really, Baker quickly looked the safety off. The safety took a step the wrong way, which gave the Mike the chance to run the route to the end zone. But can we please stop going on that it's the Glazer ownership who will step up and make the decision to sign Mike Evans? It will not be them. They put the trust in Jason Light and the coaching staff and the front office to make the decisions. It is nothing to do with ownership, spending money or saving money. It is a business decision on the football field run by the football people. We've seen enough NFL owners get involved in trying to make decisions themselves. I've got Jerry Jones on line 1 in Dallas talking who does that. Let the front office people make the decision. If they think Mike Evans is worth the money he's asking for, they will make it happen. It's nothing to do with the ownership of the franchise, Peter.
I don't think so either, and I think it's a Jason-like calculated move. It may backfire on him, but listen, if Evans has a great year, which I expect him to do, then the value is going to be there, and that's when you're going to pay him, and I think you should pay him anyway, but that's the way they're going to work this. That's the way it's going to have to work, so we'll see how that all works out. All right, let's see here. Michael says, nice to see the run game. I mean, the run game Rashard White, 17 for 39. You have Sean Tucker, 5 for 15. I think people are focusing on Baker Mayfield there. I mean, what did you think of those two gutsy runs, especially the run pass option there? He basically goes down, puts, gives the guy a stiff arm right to the face. I mean, what did you think of Baker Mayfield? And then you have to get that critical third down. He decides to take off. Basically, I'm surprised that the other guy didn't pick up a penalty because it looked like he was trying to choke him out with that tackle there. But what did you think of those two plays overall from Baker Mayfield?
We haven't seen those plays, Peter, for 3 years because Tom Brady never stepped outside the pocket because he couldn't run. So it's a whole new thing to see for Buccaneer fans to see a quarterback roll out. And it gives us another dimension that you can have that run-pass option. And, of course, then you've got the third down completion to Chris Godwin to end the game. A great pass and a great catch by Chris that made it happen. So it was a different type of offense. And as I say, it's overreaction. Overreaction Monday is a huge thing in the NFL. Overreaction Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening is just the same, and we all think it's fantastic. There was enough to be happy about, enough for us to talk about, and how just hold your horses a little bit. But like we said all along, it's a lot easier to talk about it when the Bucs are 1-0 and on the road than when they're 0-1.
And my question is to the fans out there and whoever is going to get on this show, did you like that fourth down call at your own 32-yard line with 8 minutes to go? In the game? Open phone lines if you want to talk about it. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Okay. All right. We will definitely get you out of here in a little bit, Paul. I want to read the rest of these comments, and then we'll get you out of here, get your final thoughts. So running game, Didn't necessarily come alive, but they were doing it. We knew early. I mean, how many people had the Bucs offense? They're going, what was it? 3 straight passes and 2 of them to Keefe? I mean, and you go back to it there where the Bucs get a gift, right? I mean, they get short field there. They cause a fumble. It looked like Keefe had a touchdown there and Baker missed him, right?
Yes, he did. And don't forget, every offensive coordinator is a genius when the play works, and he's terrible when the play fails. That's how it goes. And as fans, everyone second guesses the whole time. And as I say, I've been an analyst on the NFL for going on 30 years, and I made a decision before the play is completed. Was it a good call or not? Based, it's what you do coming up to the line of scrimmage, not what happens afterwards. But Canales showed enough today that he varied the offense. He came out passing. He managed to establish the run, and he made it work. So, as I said, I don't think he showed all his tricks today. We'll see a lot more over the next few weeks, but it was enough to be happy about. And as I said, for me, it's a Sunday evening. I can go and celebrate. For Bucs fans, sit down and watch the rest of the NFL games this weekend and enjoy your fact that the team are 1-0.
That's it. Absolutely. You're exactly right. And it was a gift to have Antoine Winfield Jr. on the blitz there. It didn't look like Kirk Cousins saw it, and he saw it too late. And not only was Winfield Jr., because he did this earlier on in the game, he wasn't necessarily just going for the sack. He was going for the strip, and he got the strip there where JTS, I believe, recovers the ball. The Bucs get a short field. Of course, they have to settle for a field goal. You want to talk to this guy right here really quick before you leave? Let's talk to him. Let's go ahead and go out to the legend, former Coach Scott and now media member of Night Sports Productions, Amped Up Sports. Here we go. Stand by, Leo. All right, Leo Haggerty, the legend here, kept you out all night long after USF picks up their first win in 2023. Your general thoughts on the Bucs beating the Vikings 20-17. Welcome. I'm on here with Paul Stewart from across the pond from buckpower.com. Say hello.
Hey,
how you doing, Leo?
There in merry old England.
He asked you how you're doing.
It's good to talk to you, my friend. I knew you'd be happy when the Bulls won. I did look at the highlights of that game this morning.
Yes, absolutely. So, Leo, what were your general thoughts of the Bucs win today over the Vikings?
Well, let's put Tom Brady to rest, because if Tom Brady is quarterbacking today, the Bucs lose.
Yes,
because he cannot escape anything.
Right.
Baker Mayfield won this game with guts and determination and making some plays. And I tell you what, the Vikings did do some stupid things which helped the Bucs, like line up off sides and a field goal.
Right.
Like the Bucs go for a touchdown. But
critical.
You know what? You know what luck is, Peter? When opportunity meets preparation, right?
You're exactly right about that, and it certainly looked like the Bucs offense wasn't prepared for about what they were trying to face there. 30 total yards of offense, 0-6 on third down, and a lot of people on social media just going crazy at that point. What is this type of offense? I mean, what did you see? Was it more of the Bucs and Baker not necessarily being on, and then at that point, as soon as he got confidence, he started baking? Or was it, you'll give credit to where credit is due, also the Vikings on that right side with Danielle Hunter?
Yeah, you know, the guys on the other side of the line, they're getting paid too.
Right.
So, you know what? The Vikings were doing some things. And again, the Bucs needed to run the football. And I think the first 7 plays, 6 were passes.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way you want to go. You want to pound and pound some more, and then throw the play action passes down the field.
No, I agree. And a lot of people will look at this defense as they were disappointing because they gave up over 300 passing yards a day, and Justin Jefferson had over 100 receiving yards. But I thought this defense did a great job causing turnovers, getting lots of pressure on Kirk Cousins, forcing him into those turnovers. What did you see with the defense today? I mean, Paul mentioned it. The rotation of that defensive line was much more different, and that was one of the things they tried to emphasize, guys, during the offseason, was to get younger there, to get more athletic, and you could see that on full display today.
Absolutely. And you know what, Peter? Go ahead, Paul.
Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting to sort of the way that defense played because, as I said, they changed things up in the second half. There was some very, some rotation of coverages. I said I really want to watch the All 22 when it comes out on Wednesday to look at this. There was enough scheme changes, and you started to see it towards the end of the first half, but the second half was some very different scheming. And when you're talking about comments made, Peter, a certain Mr. J.P. Peterson sent out a fantastic tweet just before the end of the first half where he was saying the same things. I'm sure you and him will have a lot of fun on the show tomorrow discussing that.
Oh yeah, we were definitely discussing it, and he JP put it out there, and he's put it out there, and he's put his name on it during the show. Which, by the way, tune into the JP Peterson show Monday through Friday from 10 to 12. I'm your co-host, your producer there. We'll have it tomorrow there later on at the patio. JP thought that the Bucs offense didn't get enough reps, and you know what? They kind of look like they didn't get enough reps, especially in that first half. Is that going to be the norm, in your opinion, Leo, with first-team offenses if they don't get enough reps in the preseason because now you only have 3 preseason games to have that type of rough start, in your opinion?
Yeah, because they don't even want to play them. That's the worst part. I mean, that's the first game Mike Evans is. I don't think Mike Evans played a snap in the preseason. And again, you've got players that need to get into game shape. Peter, how you get into game shape? You get into game shape by making plays on the field.
Agree.
And right now, it's going to be 1 or 2 weeks. Hopefully next week it'll be better, but it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks before they're ready to go. In fact, I don't know if you heard the announcers, but they said, "Hey, we're gonna see what kind of shape these guys are in the fourth quarter," and that was true.
That was absolutely true, and it looked like later on Levante David went out with some type of concussion or injury, and then he came in later on in the game and made a play. So I was kind of confused by that, but somebody will have to explain it to me if he really went out for concussion protocol. Paul, I want to get you out of here on some final thoughts. Leo, stand by here. We'll talk just a little bit, but Paul, go ahead, promote yourself again. Give me some final thoughts after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to Minnesota, like you predicted on your website there, buckpower.com.
Yeah, so we'll be covering all the details on this game tomorrow. We're doing the countdown of the top 100 players in Buccaneer history. We had number 7 today, the great James Wilder. I'll tell you now, number 6 will be the highest rated offensive player in the countdown, and he was on the field today for the Buccaneers. So I don't think that needs a lot of guessing for who it is. But I just want to say to all the Buccaneer fans around the world, even the ones who sometimes take me to Anna Maria Island, it's a great victory. Enjoy the success. Let's see how it goes the rest of the year. But just for now, let's really enjoy it and get back to reality again next Sunday against the Bears. We brought the passion. We brought the excitement. We brought home a win, Peter.
There you go. Exactly. That's how you come to the mic strong. Thanks a lot, Paul Stewart of buckpower.com. You know what? A little old school for you, my friend.
Oh.
There you go.
That's how my podcast ends with that music.
All right, my friend. Thanks a lot for your time here on The Evolution, all right? There we go. We'll get you out of here on that. Open phone lines. We got Leo Haggerty on. Give me some other overall thoughts here, Leo, because I don't want to keep you. We kept you all night long, but we'll definitely talk to you about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers throughout the week. We'll have you on Wednesday night, but go ahead and give me some more general thoughts of what you saw today after the Bucs go into Minnesota and take care of business.
Vita Vea he's a beast.
He's a monster. It really is a monster, is he not? I mean, I saw him doing the Gilbert Brown, but I think he was doing the chainsaw. Anytime that Vikings offense tried to run the ball, they could not. They were not going to be successful, especially in that middle, right?
Yeah, and in fact, I felt sorry for Kirk Cousins because after, I think, the second or third series, they're ignoring the run.
Yeah.
The Bucs. They're saying, okay, fine. You're not going to beat us with this. So, it's hard to beat somebody when you are one-dimensional. And the Bucs defense, they basically did that. They turned, and again, in the first quarter, 2 big turnovers
Yep.
in the red zone.
Yep.
That was huge.
That was definitely huge. Again, you get the Joe Tryon Shayenka fumble there, which is in the red zone, which it looked like, center exchange. They were having problems with their center. He went out.
Peter, you know what it was? They put it on later. The left guard was pulling, and he actually knocked it out. He hit it with his hand and knocked it out. What are the odds of that happening?
Those are the type of things that you don't necessarily put into context when talking about a game, but they are the most important thing, and that's exactly what the Bucs. If you're a Bucs fan, because I know there was a lot of people out there saying Baker's going to turn over the ball, the Bucs are going to turn over the ball. They won the turnover battle today. That is huge in itself. Joe Tryon Shayenka with the honors there, and then of course Antoine Winfield Jr. with the strip, sack, and recovery. Talk about this kid, because I knew he was going to have a big game, but he was so great today with the blitzing off the edge. It didn't look like Cousins knew what hit him. I mean, and again, it kind of set the tone for this defense for the day, right?
Oh, yeah. Cousins had no idea he was coming, and he came through clean.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And what Cousins did is he took a quick look to his right, and he saw what was coming. And he goes, okay, I got to get rid of the ball. He came back. But he never saw Winfield coming, and that's why it caused the fumble.
Yeah, you're completely correct on that. And I feel like this kid is getting ready to get a big-time extension. A lot of Bucs fans are very passionate about this situation, as they should. But Mike Evans, I mean, what can you say about the guy? I mean, beautiful route there, 28-yard touchdown, gives them the spark. Mr. Consistent, Mr. 1,000 receiving yards. I mean, really, has he lost a step in your opinion?
Yeah, but you know what, Peter? At his size, you can lose a step. Because, I used to say this about Keyshawn Johnson. Mm-hmm. Everybody said, well, he can't get separation. I said, when you're 6'4", as soon as you turn around, you're separated. Same thing with Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what I like what they're doing with Evans now, too. They're running a lot of short stuff for him, a lot of Z screens, and they're running X screens. If you remember at the end of the game, they just threw it out there right away to him, bing. Because you know what? You cannot play Mike Evans off the line of scrimmage because he will run by you.
Yeah, he'll definitely run by you, and that's why I don't think he's necessarily lost a step. He'll still get by you. A lot of fans were disappointed in that interference call or lack thereof a call. Did you see anything? Was it incidental comment or contact, or did Mike Evans have a case there with trying to get interference on that later on in the fourth quarter?
You know what, Peter? The problem is Mike gets away with a lot himself.
Right.
And I think the officials say, okay, fine. If I'm going to let you do that, I got to let the defensive back do something too.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think there was enough to call. Plus, it didn't look like it was a catchable ball either in terms of, like, he was almost out of bounds. So, yeah, it was a tough call.
It was definitely a tough call. What did you think of the call by Todd Bowles there? I thought it was ballsy. I thought it showed a direct reflection of what this team wants to be. They want to be gritty. They want to be gutsy. Gutsy call there by Todd Bowles. 4th and 1 at your own 32. 8 minutes to go. Why not punt the ball? Did you like that?
Honestly, Peter, no, I didn't. Okay. Because they were a tie game. And I'll tell you what, the fact that they challenged the spot on the third down, I mean, somebody needed to go upstairs. No, they got that right, guys.
Yeah.
The spot's good. Let's not burn a timeout.
You could see on the replay his elbow was down. That's what people don't look at. And I was looking at it. It looked like his body did get to the yellow line. But again, the yellow line is unofficial. So I can I can understand making the call. Like, I understand that because that's a critical situation. And that's why I like it even more with going for it and the way they went for it, because Baker's got the ball. You got to get, that 1 yard maybe, and you get it, and you're able to be successful. And I think that tells your team, listen, we're going for the win. We're not going to punt the ball. I get it. Your defense played well all day long, but we're going for it. I like that. I like that personality. I like that.
He sent that message right away. Said, fellas, hey, we're going for this.
Yep.
Because, and again, I can remember the speech that Coach Golish made last night. Do you think you can win? Do you believe you can win? Or do you expect you can win? And I think the Bucs said with that, we expect to win. Let's go get this. And you know what? The fact that they ran a quarterback sneak, Peter, my biggest pet peeve is when you see like a 4th and 1 or a 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
And people line up in the shotgun. Well, guess what? That 4th and 1 just became 4th and 6.
That's it.
So, you got under center and said, here we come.
Here we come. Mano a mano, helmet on helmet. Let's go for it. I'm better than you. And the Bucs were today. Final thoughts here. Baker Mayfield. I mean, he showed not necessarily the best statistics. People will look at it and say he definitely had a rough start. 6 for 15 to begin the game. Offense only had 30 yards. You're 0 for 6 on 3rd down. But somehow, some way, he gets it done. He starts to bake a little bit. I love the fact of the run-pass option where basically he gives that defender the stiff arm. And when you need a 3rd down, he is decisive enough. And my mom, I'm telling you, she's sitting there and she's like, where has this been? And it's right there. And I said, now you like Baker. Now that's the reason why Mayfield is your starter. What did you think of that big time 3rd down conversion there where Mayfield basically gets his head nearly taken off but gets that 1st down?
You know what, Peter? I said this when they signed him. If they get the Baker Mayfield that took Cleveland to the playoffs, destroyed Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and came within 1 play of beating Kansas City, that's the Baker Mayfield I want. And I think that's what we saw today, that guy.
I agree. I completely agree with you with the stifling defense causing turnovers. Even though you give up all those statistics, you knew Jefferson, you knew Cousins were going to get theirs. They get theirs, but they don't get a win. Great stuff, Leo Haggerty. Final thoughts here on the Bucs beating the Minnesota Vikings 20-17 to go to 1-0.
Well, let's not let this fester. Make sure you're ready to go to beat the Bears because the Bears are beatable. And that's a game that you and I, Peter, we talked about this. This was a game we had in the win column to start with, and it needs to be there. So, get after it.
They get after it, and Chase McLaughlin, it looks like a great signing at the end of the day, a great upgrade, 57 yards, would have been great from 65. Leo, thanks a lot for your time here. We'll see you on Wednesday night, my friend, all right?
Take care, my friend.
All right, good stuff there. So open phone lines, just you and me. Somebody said smile. Here we go. I'm smiling right there. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons. Sometimes I get a little serious with doing this. I take myself too seriously, but I want to make sure that everything is in line. I want to make sure that the phone lines are working. I want to make sure that you Bucs fans feel comfortable here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television Live on I Love St. Pete, the Hub, Amped Up Sports, and Bucs Life. So do you feel comfortable? How do you feel about that game, that big Bucs victory over the Minnesota Vikings 20-17? Give me a call. Let's talk about it. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, and you should be able to now, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. Let me go out to Mike DeKing there, of course, middle school buddy right there, high school buddy. Hey, Pete, remember when I told you Palmer was a good value draft pick and Tucker was a solid free agent rookie? Absolutely nailed it today, my friend. Yeah. And, of course, Trey Palmer, congratulations. You've got your first touchdown. Very, very nice. Of course, Baker trying to scramble there on 3rd down, finds a wide open guy there in the end zone for his first touchdown to where you take the lead 17-10. Big catch by the rookie. I thought he had a play there where Cade Otton fumbles the ball. To me, I don't know what a football move is. I thought he had it, was completed. Trey Palmer gets the first down. They call it back. That's the refs for you. Fire them cannons. We shall. Let's go out to Eric here. Go Bucs. We are the Bucs. We are the best. Love it. Let's go! Let's go out to Eugene Knox. They tried to steal the game from us, bastards, but they couldn't do it. Yeah! Could they, Eugene? They could not steal the game from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
How about them Bucs, baby?
You know why? Because the Bucs took it. They took it. They said, stop us on 4th down. I'm Todd Bowles. I've been highly criticized the whole offseason. You know, you Bucs fans, who you are. And the main question there, clock management, too conservative. Not on that call. Not on that call. That's a gutsy call, my friend. That definitely changed the outcome, in my opinion. Because once you get that first down, then you go down, you kick that winning field goal. And that is a long-ass drive. Something like 16 plays, right down their throat. How do you like it, Vikings fans? You like it? You like it, Kirk Cousins? You like all those yards today? I think the Bucs fans and Bucs defense liked all those turnovers. I definitely think that. All right, so good stuff, Eugene. Thanks a lot. Go Bucs. Absolutely, go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to Braun. One down, Peter. Go Bucs. Absolutely one down.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's go out to Eric. Bucs season started today. Play like they can win any game. Well, not the first half. They didn't necessarily play. Let's go out to the numbers. Baker Mayfield, 21 for 34, 173, 2 touchdowns, not 300 yards. We told you that this offense would be more balanced, right? That's what it was in the second half. 34 times you throw the ball. Rashard White, Sean Tucker, 22 times there. And then also you have Baker with 8. So, how many runs there? 17, 5, 22, 2 and 8. What was that? 31. And then you also have Chase Edmonds, 32, 33. And then you have Raheem Jarrett, who gets the in around. That's 34 times. Guess what? 34 and 34. That's balanced football, baby. That's what you're going to get. 16 more. Absolutely. Jason says, totally agree. I see definitely potential to get way better. Absolutely. Let's go. I love it. Let's see here. Love the defense. I think there's not too much you couldn't love about that defense. Let's talk about that defense just a little bit, shall we? Devin White leading the way there with 12 tackles, was all over the field. And like I said at the beginning of this whole process, he had a chip on his shoulder the size of Texas, right? He's got something to prove. He wants to be an off linebacker that's going to be paid $20 million. He played like it today. That's a Bucs leader for your defense. That's how you play. You hit somebody in the mouth, you run all over the place, you wrap and tackle, you don't have coverage breakdowns. That's Devin White football. Levante David, 8 tackles there. Of course, Antoine Winfield Jr., 8 tackles, also a sack. And I thought he recovered that fumble too. And he gave the Bucs short field. And that was huge. And honestly, they should have had a touchdown to O'Keefe. If Baker Mayfield puts that ball on him, and by the way, how many people thought that O'Keefe was going to be the guy, the go-to guy there early for Baker Mayfield? I didn't think that at all. At all. But that's a play. That's the reason why Winfield Jr. is going to be up for an extension. He's playing his natural position, and they're definitely going to use him as a guy in the slot. Kind of looked like Rondé Barber there a little bit, didn't he? Just a little bit on that blitz. Just saying. Causing fumbles. Today he played like that. Played well. And then Joe Tryon-Shoyinka with the early fumble there. And he had a couple sacks, and I felt like he had a lot more there. It was disappointing because you see Kancey really set the tone there with the kidney shot on that first drive. I like that. Fortunately, Kancey goes out with an injury, the calf injury. We'll keep you up to date on that situation. So there you go. Love the defense. I gotta love the defense. Offense around the league is down because they don't play in the preseason. I mean, and it goes back to the great J.P. Peterson of the J.P. Peterson show. He put it out there. He would like to see that offense play a lot more. That's the reason why you have those slow starts, especially with the new offense. All right, let's go out to Ed. Ed, welcome back to the evolution of sports talk television using your second call. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are I think Mike Evans will get signed within the next 2 weeks. I think the Bucs are making moves to free up space so that they can give him a nice thick paycheck.
Well, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, right? I mean, you believe in Jason Light, you believe in Mike Greenberg, and let's say you don't even sign him. I mean, that gives you more motivation for Evans to to perform well. Not that he hasn't performed at a high level before, right? He has. So it gives you more motivation. You're not trading this guy. The Bucs are not interested in trading this guy. They're ready to compete for this division. We've told you throughout the offseason, he's not going anywhere. I get it. Once again, there's a lot of fans out there that are passionate about this subject, as they should be, because Mike Evans is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And hopefully he continues to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And I have faith in Jason Light and Mike Greenberg because they know what they're doing over there. So we'll see how it works out. But once again, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Mike Evans, again, that spark, that 28-yard touchdown. The catches that he made today. I mean, he had that one drop. Probably should have had 2 touchdowns in this game. But it's neither here nor there.
Yeah, he's getting signed. I have no doubt that he's going to retire a Buccaneer and go into the Hall of Fame as a Buccaneer.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right, what else, Ed?
Back to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some hitting on this defense that I haven't seen in a long time, my friend. I saw some tackle swarming. I saw some people grabbing for footballs, stripping, doing things that I haven't seen in a long time. Where has this been? How long has Todd Bowles been here?
Well, you go back to the Super Bowl. I mean, you're kind of getting back to that defense, right? And they were disappointing last year. We talked about the effort not necessarily being there. We also talked about a guy in Devin White who's the defensive leader on this team. You would consider a young defensive leader who also wants to get paid. And he played like he wanted to get an extension today. Hats off to him. Played well.
So who would you sign? Would you give an extension to White, or would you give it to Mike Evans? Because you're probably not going to get both of them.
Well, I'm not ready to say that. I don't know what the Bucs' intentions are. That's not my job. If White plays like the defensive leader, like he did in that 2020 postseason on the way to the Super Bowl, I definitely think you're going to have some cause for pause where you have to consider signing him to an extension. You always want Mike Evans to be in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform. That's their job. I'm a guy that didn't do well in college math, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to break down numbers and all this other stuff. I talk about the numbers. I'm not breaking it down. You look at my checkbook, look at my balance out there. It ain't great. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should do, what you should not do. I will say this. The cap goes up every year, my friend. This is called inflation. I think if there's anybody that can get it done, it's Jason Light in this organization. And if they feel like this guy is worth it more than this guy, then I'll trust, their analysis. I will trust the fact that they know what is best for this organization going forward. Hope that answers your question.
Well, it did, but I think it's going to be tough to get them both because both are going to command a big paycheck.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you get good. Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to command a lot of money. Tristan Wirfs is going to command a lot of money. That's what you get with talent. That's a good problem to have. That's a problem. That's their job. That's what they're going to have to figure out. But you're exactly right. You have a good problem. It may become a problem, but let's worry about that next off season. Let's worry about this season in front of us. Anything else?
Do they have to give Devin White a contract extension this year?
They could always franchise him next year. They got that opportunity. Either franchise him or Mike Evans. Yes, they could absolutely do that. Yes, they could.
All right, man. I just wanted to hit you up one more time because that's what I do.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Let me fire those cannons. Good call as always. Ed there from Palm Harbor. Open phone lines if you want to get in on this, the fun here. And we're having lots of fun as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business today. 20-17 over the Minnesota Vikings. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number in case you can't get through, and you should be able to, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something. Yes, Tom, let's go. Yes, sir. What's up, Peter? Let's go. Absolutely. Cornell says, Peter H. Blake, thanks a lot for tuning in, Cornell.
Bucs, baby.
Let's go out to Andrew. You like that? Go Bucs. I definitely like that.
Yeah.
I know Kirk Cousins like that. Maybe not. Yes. Woo. Woo! Baker ball, baby. Absolutely. Let's go out to Andre. Great job. Defense, our run game looked terrific. Special teams, great job. Offense, a slow start, but held up pretty well. I agree with you. The numbers on the run game are not the best, but once again, this is what this offense is going to be sometimes. It's not going to be the prettiest numbers. I mean, Baker Mayfield, 173, 34 times, 2 touchdowns, but guess what? No interceptions. No interceptions.
How about them Bucs, baby?
No interceptions. And when you can win the turnover war, it is so important, right? It gives your defense that chance. Your defense is causing turnovers. It puts you in short fields. Of course, the Bucs settle for a field goal, where more than likely they should have scored a touchdown there. But once again, you get it done. You get it done somehow, some way. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 409-7528. Forgetting my numbers here, as my numbers are all. But you're exactly right. Great job by the defense. Ugly first on offense, soft cover, but good take seats from the D. Got move a little second half, a lot to improve on, but go Bucs. Agree with that. Derek says go Bucs, go Bucs.
Ooh, yeah.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Cornell says best show around. Let's go, Peter Blake. Appreciate you. Love that. Jeff says let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the Evolution. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Peter, how's it going, buddy? It's KR.
What's going on, KR? What do you think? Your thoughts today? Hey. First and foremost, I want to ask you, what did you think about the Todd Bowles call there? 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Do you like the call, even if you don't get it?
Very gutsy call.
Okay.
I have to definitely give Todd Bowles some kudos.
Okay.
He actually pulled a play out of his bag, and I'm impressed.
He did. You're absolutely correct about that. And I think that was, again, a direct reflection of this coaching staff. It shows this team wants to be gutsy and gritty. And it also tells your team, you know what? We're going for it. We're better than you. Mano a mano. They went for it instead of punting it, depending on your defense, which wouldn't be a bad move. But, you know, I think as a lot as the Bucs fans out there, they would complain about that move. We've seen that happen last year. This time, the Bucs felt like, you know what, we're going to get that fourth down, and they got it.
Yeah, and just one thing that I noticed this year compared to last year, you can see a little bit of a difference with Todd Bowles and the way he schemed things. Like, we noticed that in this game, he made his defense more aggressive once you saw that, Winfield Jr. got in his natural position. He was able to be more of an attacker and actually spot the ball and go after Cousins. And you can just tell that a lot of those guys who are looking for contracts are definitely they're going to play their hearts out this year. And we saw it. And even Mayfield, him having a spotty, beginning, that second half, he just played consistent. And that's what we need, I think, right now is a consistent quarterback. We don't need nobody to be, Tom Brady is.
Correct.
We need a game manager and some guy that can, drive the ball down the field, make smart plays. And Baker, he earned a lot of respect, I think, today. And I hope a lot of Bucs fans saw that. And I was impressed by that just because of the way he had that moxie to run the ball on that, to get that first down and that evil little stiff arm he did. And I'm like, that's the Mayfield I think we all remember from college. And I'm like, that dude there, he got some dog in him. And you know what? He earned a hell of a lot of props today. He's got some dog in him, and I liked it.
Yeah, I like it too, and I like the fact that he takes off on third down. You need that big first down conversion, and I'm going for it, and I'm running for it, and I don't care if I get my head taken off. I don't care how hard I get hit. I'm putting my shoulder down. I'm going for the first down, and sure enough, Baker gets the first down, and that, once again, that really changed the complexion of the game because at that point, Minnesota has to use their timeouts, and basically they're done at the end of the day.
They were desperate, and definitely you can just tell night and day from Brady to Mayfield that Brady pretty much was a statue in the pocket compared to Mayfield.
Yep.
His scrambling ability makes this team looks a little bit dangerous, and I think that's one thing you even pointed out too. We do have with mobility at the quarterback position. It is going to help this team a little bit more, spread the ball out. And even you could tell from the first drive, I got to give Dave Canales, even though it was his first game, I got to give him props. He made some gutsy calls. He made some gutsy plays. And he just, evolutionized what we've been complaining about for the last 2 years. Leftwich was a stiff at running the ball. It's like, dude, you run the ball first and second down. You're so predictable. Yeah. It's like we know what you're running. The first 2 plays of this game, they passed the ball. Even though Coach Keith had stone hands, I was like, okay, I see a difference in this team. They're going to be a little bit more aggressive at throwing the ball, and they're going to be balanced, which we saw that you called out, which was great.
Thank you.
I'm definitely impressed, to see what this team can possibly be. And all these doubters that are going to say that we're going to be in the top, bottom 30 of the NFL, list, I think they might want to reevaluate that once they see this team a little bit more and what we can do and what optimism that we can bring to the table. And I think Chicago, they're definitely are beatable, and I think we can beat them at home.
Well, I don't know what the score of that game is right now, not watching the game because I'm trying to actually, host a sports talk show here, but it looks like it's close.
I think Green Bay was beating them at the
7-6 in a snore fest there. Of course, if you listen to Harry the Greek today on the Over Under, which we do a show here on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m., we're always working here on the PHB Studio Network. He said it was going to be a low-scoring affair, and sure enough, my friend, it is a low-scoring affair.
I think Harry's getting his wish.
Yeah, Harry's getting his wish, and we'll see what Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears can pull off. Anything else here on the sports web, my friend?
Overall, great show as always, Peter. Your team and at the studios is great. You guys do an awesome job, and it's a great outlet for the fans. And I know that the sports web definitely does do its thing, and we are able to voice our opinions and share that we are passionate fans, and also fans that really care about all sports. And this is just one way and one medium to share our opinions and our thoughts, especially if we're mad, we're pissed off. I love it, and I'm just happy that we got a dub today. It's hopefully a start of a very successful season, and I want to see this team just, play their hearts out. They got the moxie now, and they just got to carry it forward.
Love it. Great call, my friend. Kevin, don't be a stranger, my friend. Go ahead and give me a second call whenever you like, all right?
Yes, sir. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs. Yes, let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the Minnesota Vikings 20-17. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, man, this is Corey with I'm calling from Virginia. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you doing today? How are you feeling about your Tampa Bay Buccaneer team? Let me ask the question that has been on everybody's mind. Do you like the Todd Bowles call there on 4th and 1 at your own 32-yard line with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter? Yes or no, and why or why not?
Man, I love it, man. I love it. We just keep grinding, keep running down the field, keep wasting the time. I think it was a great call.
Yeah, I like the call too. I think it's ballsy. And again, I think it tells your team that basically we're going to win. We're better than you, and we know it.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So what else did you see today, Corey?
I think Baker Mayfield did a great job today. Yeah, he had a slow first half, but second half, man, he looked good, man.
Does that sway you? Because I know there's a lot of people on social media in the postseason, or not the postseason, but the offseason, that really thought that Kyle Trask should be the starter. Did that kind of sway you today, or were you always on that Baker train?
I mean, I've always been on the Baker train. I like Kyle Trask, but I mean, I think Baker Mayfield's got more experience.
Right.
And I just think both of them are great players. I mean, we got a good backup.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Baker Mayfield's our guy. And if he can stay consistent and do what he did today with, like you said, no turnovers,
yeah,
man, it's going to be all right.
Yeah. I mean, no turnovers. No turnovers. No turnovers.
Victory.
I mean, that's the way you got to win games. You win that turnover war, and that's exactly what the Bucs did today. What else? What else did you think today about the Bucs victory?
I just got one thing left to say. Our defense. Oh my God, man! The 2 sacks and the interception look good.
They look good. They absolutely look good. And Itzy in there stepping up, of course. Critical pass interference call. I thought it was BS. but that interception before the half where, look, Corey, you think that either the Vikings are going to try to get a touchdown there or at least 3 points, and you get absolutely nothing because I tell you right now, the rookie wanted it more than the other player that was being thrown to. And, Jefferson to take that shot, that was out of frustration. That's basically when you know what? We got you. Even though you put up all these gaudy numbers, nearly 300 yards before halftime, we got you because guess what? You got absolutely nothing.
This guy sucks.
That's right.
Nothing. All right. Good stuff, Corey. Anything else here on the Evolution?
No, sir. Just take it one game at a time, man, and then see what we do next week against Chicago. So
Love it. Bears opening up at Raymond James Stadium. Maybe we'll be live from there. Tune in, Corey. Appreciate the call.
Oh, yeah. Right, yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Use that second call. Virginia, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona. Could they all be wrong? Of course they're not wrong. It's an open phone line. It's the Bucs winning over the Vikings. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Let's go Bucs. Special round. Thank you, Cornell. I do shows like this for fans like you. Because I do care about what you think. I don't want it to be just a 2-minute call. I get it. We got lots of phone calls here. Got lots of time. I'll sit here all night long and talk Bucs football. If you guys are interested in what I'm putting out there, I'm interested in what you're putting out. Fair? Fair enough? I care about your fantasy football team. Did your fantasy football team do well today? I didn't have one, but I care about it. I care about what you think about the Bucs quarterback situation. I care about what you think about this Bucs team overall going forward. Do you feel good going against the Chicago Bears next Sunday? We shall see. All right. Jeff Moody says, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go out to Eric. Bucs defense, amazing. Zach Mitchell, former roommate. I wanted them to put in Trask, but glad Baker figured it out because it was an awful start. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You were one of the guys I was talking about. How do you like that? Kirk Cousins, our day. Love it. Jason says, Bucs defense looked awesome. Absolutely. Andre, thanks to the defense. Eric again, hell yes. Hell yes.
Give me a hell yeah.
There you go. Let's go on to KR. 1-0, go Bucs, baby. Baker is a game lover. Love his guts.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to Cassie. Way to hold on, Bucs. Yes. Let's go out to KR here. MK13 showed up big. Godwin came in the clutch. Absolutely. Forgot about that play because I keep on talking about Baker and that big-time third-down conversion. But who could forget? Baker has time, finds Chris Godwin. Nobody else is going to catch that pass. Godwin makes the catch, stays in bounds. Good night to the Minnesota Vikings. Great throw, even better catch. Because there's nobody else that's going to catch that ball on third down. And that is the type of throw that you got to have from your quarterback at that situation. And that is the type of catch that you got to have from one of your wide receivers that's coming off an injury. That's what you got to have. And you get both. Huge. Completely huge. Good stuff, KR. Absolutely. Mike Evans in this game, 6 for 66, 1 touchdown. Could have had a second touchdown. Godwin, 5 catches for 51 yards. K. Otten, 2 for 19. Could have had more. Rashard White, 2 for 10. Little slip pass there on that drive. You got to like that. Little Baker baking it up there. Slip pass to Rashard White. Looks like he's going to take a loss. Gets that play. I mean, there's so many plays in this game. Pay Mikey now. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to KR. The defense showed up and out. Sitting. Go Bucs all day long. Absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to Ben. Mike could have had an even better game. Agree with you on that. Mike says, great win. Great win.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Andre. It starts with the front line. I mean, I think that's another big statistic that we're really not talking about here, right? I mean, I get it. The Vikings are not a great defense by any means. We talked about that matchup coming into the game. But what was the big one that we were going to be watching? That right side. With the rookie starting, injured, back spasms. You got Luke Gedeke had a penalty early on. I thought they were clean. I thought it was a clean game. In fact, 1 sack by Danielle Hunter. And that's it. I mean, I think Bucs fans will take that all day long, right? You'll take that, won't you? I know I would. So that's going to be something to watch going forward. You didn't have a lot of critical penalties at critical times. That was nice, huh? Donovan Smith fans?
Shut up!
All right, so you know I'm right. Carlton Davis, Chris Godwin with the plays of the game. I mean, Carlton Davis, what a play there on third down. I mean, that's the reason why you pay him top 10 money. That's the reason why he's probably a top 5 corner in this league. Say whatever you want to about production interceptions, but he makes that type of play right there. Great technique. Doesn't pick up the pass interference. Makes that play on third down. Bucs get back the ball. Huge. Completely huge. Let's go out to Zach Mitchell. How about the field goal? What a kick. Yeah, 57 yards. Would have been good from 65. Absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Cornell says, please get the deal done. Ed says, Peter, the Blake, appreciate you.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's go out to Andre. Absolutely. Mike says there was a misplay, a pass interference call on Mike Evans. Looked like it was incidental contact, but we'll go back and look at it. Mike was calling for it. I thought they were a little bit grabbing. I mean, if you're going to be consistent as an official and you're going to call Christian Etienne late, and I thought that was weak sauce there, especially at a critical time, which gives the Vikings life. They got first and goal at that point. And even then, it's difficult to get in, and they finally get in there. But that gives them second life because, you know, if Etienne doesn't get called for that pass interference, the Bucs are off the field, and you have the Vikings settle for a field goal. And it's 17-13 instead of 17 all. And the road to LFG. Let's go! And what a game today. The defense was on fire. The offense made the adjustments needed to win. I think that's important. Because we sat here and talked about it, right? Todd Bowles and the coaching staff. Dave Canales never calling plays. They make those second half adjustments. You start to be more balanced. You start to run the ball. I get it. A lot of Bucs fans contacted me in my inbox. I mean, it's one of the busiest moments during the game, the first of the game. Love you guys. Love the comments. But I hear, what is going on here? What's going on with all the passing by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as we got some breaking news? I don't know what's going on there. Okay, that's neither here nor there. That's baseball news. ESPN stopped with the nonsense there. So absolutely. Mike, but the running agency needs work. Earl, good win. Defense came to play. Andrew Fulbear, great game. Bucs fans, absolutely, Andrew.
Yeah.
Earl, finally a kicker who can make kicks over 50 yards. Isn't it nice?
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to Jason. I was on the trash, not getting a fair shake, but definitely love Baker's day. Baker did show me something. Good call. That's my question for the fans going forward with this performance today. Now, I'm not saying he threw for 300 yards. Don't get me wrong. He had some bad throws today. He missed some touchdowns. We talked about it, right? Showed that moxie. We heard about that. Have you changed your opinion on Baker Mayfield after this performance? Mr. Daniels, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams. Yes, Mr. Williams. Bucs win 20-17. Your thoughts, my friend?
Hey, man, I appreciate my defense because they really stepped up.
Yeah.
You know, hey, Jason Wright, hope you listening to your fans. The owners, hope y'all listen to y'all fans. Paid number 13.
Yeah.
He needs to get paid.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get paid, and he's playing like he needs to get paid. I agree with you on that.
You know, he needs to get paid. Pay that man.
Yeah.
Pay that man because really, he didn't have to play if he didn't want to, and there's nothing he can do, and there's nothing y'all can do to him. But pay that man.
Yeah, pay that man, and he definitely gave them a spark in that late and before halftime there with the 28-yard touchdown. Beautiful.
Yeah, man. I let them know, look, I started here, I finished here. You know, this is my 10th season.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I didn't catch the plane with y'all, but I came, showed up, dressed out, and I played.
Yep. You're right.
You know, come on, man. Pay that man. That man need his money.
I agree.
But yeah, right. Yeah, right. What? I believe Harry is the Chicago Bear, right?
Yes, he is. Yes, he's a Chicago
All right,
Bear
so,
fan. Yes, sir.
tell him, man, I want to know what restaurant he gonna be at, cause I gotta come find him.
Gotta come and find him. Yes.
Hey man, my birthday Wednesday.
Birthday is Wednesday. Happy birthday, Mr.
Yeah, man,
yes.
I need my orange.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, man. I need my orange shirt we were talking about, man. Send me my orange shirt in the mail, man.
Orange shirt in the mail. All right. We'll talk to Harry the Greek about it. You know that he'll be on Monday and Wednesday nights, so we'll get you covered. You call back in, Mr. Williams.
But, hey, man, love you guys, man.
Yeah, man.
Like I say, Tampa, hey, man, my defense did a hell of a job.
You like that decision by Kurt? Let me ask you this really quick, because I've been asking fans all day long. And do you like the Todd Bowles call? 4th and 1 at your own 32 with 8 minutes to go in the game. You like that call?
Oh yes, I did.
Okay. Even if you don't get it, you still like the call.
Because for one, now you are really taking a risk, and you're really learning how to be not just a defensive coordinator, but you're also being a head coach.
Right.
And you also trust in your offense. Like I say, 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You got too much power coming out that bite field.
Yep. You're exactly
you
right.
Got too much power coming out that bite field. And right, like I say, the only thing I didn't like about that game, when they called a pass interference on 29.
Yeah,
that wasn't no pass.
Weak sauce. Bro. That was definitely weak sauce, in my opinion. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, that wasn't no pass interference. Like I say, hey man, we came, we did it when everybody underrated the Tampa defense about Justin Jefferson, but you know he got a chance to do a little dance one time in his zone. Okay, cool with that. But at the end of the day, I'm coming back home 1-1. I mean 1-0, and it's a 3-way tie for the NFC South. So we face the Eagles. We got to come scrap our boots up and play again.
Well, you got to play the Bears and you got to play the Eagles, both at home.
I ain't even worried about the Bears.
Yeah, you're worried about the Bears. You're worried about the Eagles. All right.
Yeah, right.
So no one game at a time for you. For Mr. Williams, no one game at a time for you. Okay, I got you. You got Jordan Addison with the 39-yard touchdown.
That's my third game. That's my third game.
That's your third game. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, right. And now one thing I want to say to the New Orleans fans.
Yes.
Do not think that what that quarterback name over there?
Derek Carr.
He's not doing that shit on the Bucs when he pulled today.
I love it. I friggin' love it, man. I love that. I love that.
Because you pulled the jackrabbit and came back and won the game.
Yep. You agree. You're absolutely.
That 4th game, we going to take your left and your right away from you.
Love it. Love it. Good stuff.
Right, man.
Yes.
Love, man.
Yeah, man.
Talking to y'all soon, bro.
All right. Appreciate you, Mr. Williams. Great call. As always, open phone lines if you want to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers after a big victory on the road in Minnesota. God, that crowd was just completely obnoxious with the skull chants. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Bucs win 20-17. Jordan Addison gets on the board as a rookie, 39-yard touchdown. 6 plays, 83 yards for the Vikings to take the lead. They also add a field goal. And then later on in that second quarter, right before halftime, that's when the Bucs start to do their work there. Baker Mayfield, 3 for 4, 51 yards, 28-yard touchdown to Mike Evans right there again. 7 plays for 61 yards, and they needed that in the worst way because, again, social media was ablaze of bring in Trask. right now for the full season because I can't take much more of Baker Mayfield. But my question for you, do you like the Todd Bowles call there? 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Do you like that call? And do you also like what Baker Mayfield did today? Did it change your opinion of him? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. The other number, in case you can't get through, 727-409-7528. Again, 727-409-7528. Baker is the man. Joe, the animal, can you please say hello to Paul from me, from the animal, longtime friend? English people love the Bucs. Facts, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, the win weekend. Bucs, Gators, and Rays for you, absolutely. As the Rays won today. Kings of the NFC South. I like your Cornell.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to David C.J. Stroud. First NFL reception was to himself, and I believe he joins Brett Favre. Because I think I remember this. Brett Favre, his first pass was to himself at the old Sombrero at Tampa Stadium, I believe. Here's to a good season, Pete. Absolutely. Let's go out to Ryan Turner. Just like I predicted, a 3-point game. Kirk was tired out. We did a great job of containing Jefferson in the second half. Absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Rick says, crowded first place division. You got to love it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Eric. Can't see update yet. Not yet, but he did go out of the game with the calf injury. Patrick, the Gators played a serious cupcake. Laugh out loud. We saw what happened when they played a good team. Laugh my ass off. I'll give you that one.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, McNeese State for the Gators was a get-right game, and the Gators got right. Of course, Florida State moved on. Miami with a big win over Texas A&M. And, of course, USF, as we covered it here live on the Sports Web on Amped Up Sports. It was this morning. In case you didn't watch, it's right there from the press box. I mean, why don't gamble sitting on the ball for 2 minutes at the end of the game is a part of the game, but those timeouts are crucial in the fourth quarter, and they had like none. You're exactly right. Kyle Hardy says, how about that defense? How about that defense? Woo! Yes. Eric says, Bucs defense feels 2020 defense. Not ready to go there yet, but getting back to that standard, especially in this game. Hey to you.
How about them Bucs, baby?
You said smile. I smiled for you. There you go. All right. So thanks a lot, Juliet, for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
The evolution. Let's go out to Eldon. Second half, shut down Jefferson to 12 yards. Big play by them.
Flawless victory.
Eldon again. Defense. Eldon again. The defense was stout, but Bakes showed some grit in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go out to Byron Moore. Pay Mike Evans now.
Yeah.
Pay Mike Evans now.
What?
Absolutely agree. Good stuff. Thank you, George. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Melissa. Way to go, Bucs. And they looked really good out there. Let's keep it going, gentlemen. Absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to George. Lynch only had 6. Agree.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Eldon. We can talk about the field goal, but the defense kept us in the game. Completely agree with you. And you look at it, you feel good about it because your offense is struggling before halftime. And because your defense is not only sacking the quarterback, you had 2 sacks in this game, getting enough pressure, but also causing those fumbles. And the big-time interception by rookie Christian Itzian in the red zone is a huge play.
Oh, yeah.
Good comment. George, yes, lots of substitution. Good to see. Yash says, bring your passion. Absolutely. Let's go out to Eldon. Take all the stats you want, but the point is don't let the score too much weigh to go defense. I mean, 17 points. You feel good about that. 17 points your defense gives up. You have how many turnovers in this game? You had the 2 fumbles. You had the interception there. So what was that? 3 turnovers in the game total? Let me just check out here. The turnovers in that game, you had 2 fumbles and an interception and a partridge and a pear tree. Merry Christmas to that Bucs defense. Absolutely agree with you on that. Eldon, bend, don't break. Eldon again. Chris Godwin ended the game. Absolutely correct. You're completely correct on a throw that nobody else is going to get besides Chris Godwin. It's great to see. Jeff, good win, Bucs. My Bengals absolutely sucks.
This guy sucks.
Yeah, what the hell was that today? I guess Myles Garrett is taking that next step. And I guess maybe the Joe Burrow. I mean, it's this, Jeff. Cincinnati started out rough last year. They started out rough this year. They'll be able to figure it out. Too much talent. But, that Browns defense, pretty good. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith. Not bad. Not bad at all. So sorry about that, Jeff. Great call, brother. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Dave says LFG Bucs. Hard-fought win. Baker really came through. Let's go out to a family affair here, Mr. Uncle D. It was a really good win for the Buccaneers, and they did very good. So please keep up the good work, Peter H. Blake. We shall do that. Let's go out to Les White on D. Played a good game. We already talked about that. I mean, he was a man among boys out there. I mean, how many tackles did he have for the game total for the Bucs? What was it, 12? Let's see here. Yeah, 12 tackles combined. 12 tackles all game, all over the place. That's what you need your defensive leader to do. And then on top of it, you look at Minnesota's running game, right? I mean, how many yards did the Vikings run? Matson, 11 for 34. Kirk Cousins, 3 for 7. Ty Chandler, 3 for nothing. You'll take that. Yeah, no run game for the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Devin White's effort, Vita Vea, that defensive line rotation. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I think this is Eric. Welcome back to the Sports Web.
What's up?
What's going on, buddy? Using your second call. What's on your mind?
Man, look like the Bears can't stop the run.
Uh-oh. So you're giving me an update here. What's the update of the score?
17-6 now.
17-6 Green Bay or 17-6 Bears?
17 Green Bay.
Wow. Uh-oh. All right. Thanks for the update. Anything else? Yes, go ahead, Eric.
Man. But look at this. I think this Bucs 2020 defense might be good as this one.
Well, I mean, look, the 2020 defense is tough to top, especially in that postseason, right? I mean, they shut out quarterbacks there. You had Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees. The way they played that second half of the year. Well, yeah, you're absolutely correct. You're completely correct. Let's see what this defense does overall, but they look pretty special today. I'll just say that.
Next week, we should not be worried about. We should be worried about the Bears because it's any given Sunday.
Well, they will definitely be worried about the Bears, my friend. Eric, great call as always.
You know what else, man? I really don't because it's any given game. Anybody can win, anybody can lose.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. Any given Sunday, my friend, you got to put your best effort forward. You're exactly right.
The Bears look, man, it's crazy. Bengals lose. Chiefs lose.
Yep.
It's crazy.
But it's only week 1. You got a long season to go, but it's always great to get off to a good start. Yes.
Are you winning on your pick 'em or no? Did you bet this week?
I did not bet anything this week, my friend. I did not bet. No, I did not. Give to the Facebook stars and YouTube chats if you want to give some money to the cause. That would definitely help me out. Yes. But I did not bet anything this week. No.
Man, yeah, because, man, there's a lot of upsets today.
A lot of upsets. We'll see if that continues.
Too.
Rams are winning too. Okay. Well, there you go.
Man, I'm surprised the Patriots put up a fight with the Eagles. They're putting up a fight.
Yeah. I got to watch football, so I'm going to try to get off of here because you're giving me this update. I appreciate you, my friend.
Yeah.
Great call as always, Eric. I'm going to read the rest of these comments, and then I'm going to get off for the night because we gave you 2 hours of Bucs conversation. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon live on the JP Peterson Show from 4 to 6. We invite your phone calls. We'll have all your conversation, and then I will be back here tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Hopefully, if I have a voice still. Can the cold get out of me? It would be nice. I mean, this cold was as stingy as that Bucs defense today was, right? Bend but don't break. All right. Did you all see Chris make that catch for the first down in the game? I did. Absolutely. Hell yes. Sitting. Do your friends look pretty good today? Bucs different. Look pretty good today. Paul says, great comments. Everyone keep the passion. Win or lose. Love it. Scott Scott Bradford of Bucs Live. Thanks a lot for tuning in. As always, hey, I just talked to that guy from England that you did. Paul says, Scott, I love kickers, Bradford. Scott, again, I'm in those wall of pictures behind Paul. Scott, it showed the rust in preseason in the first half. Once Baker got going in the second half, he looked much better. It's going to take a few games for the offensive line to gel. I like that. But again, you give up, what, 1 sack for the whole game? You got to be happy with that, Scott. I think you would. Paul says, even those fans who take me to Anna Maria Island. Tim says, nice road win. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dave, what's with the new gutsy Todd Bowles? Is he becoming the new Riverboat Ron? I like that. Do you guys like that? Do you like the move? Do you like going for it? You guys can get on the phone lines if you want to. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. In case you can't get through, and you should be able to. 727-409-7528. Again, 409-7528. Kirk, the Bucs kicked your ass. How do you like the Bucs now? Remember what you said. How do you like me now? How do you like the Bucs now?
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to David here. David says Green Bay 7, Care Bears 6, under 2 minutes. Thank you very much for the update. Packers 10-6 over the Care Bears. KR, that was key. No turnovers was clutch. To Peter, absolutely no turnovers. No turnovers.
Yeah.
No turnovers.
What?
No turnovers.
Woo!
And I say that because we've had shows on this broadcast and this platform before where we have talked about nothing but turnovers. So there was none today. I'm definitely more optimistic on the season as a whole. The defense did a great job creating takeaways. Baker needs to just settle down more, get more comfy, and be more confident in his throws. I like that. I like that comment.
Ooh, yeah.
Very good. And how about that huge interception, stealing the ball and stopping Minnesota from scoring? Probably the biggest play, in my opinion, besides what we have talked about today. Baker with the big-time third down conversion, the big-time throw to Chris Godwin to end the game. But once again, Minnesota has all the momentum. We've seen it before. You go into halftime. You give up a cheap 3 points or a touchdown, and you feel bad about that effort. But you get that interception from the rookie. He steps up. Give it to me. I want it. That was the attitude of this team today. Good D, KR. It's true, Peter. No turnovers. The Bucs can win. David says, good game. Great show. Thank you very much.
Ooh, yeah.
Kicker has a big leg. He does. And David says, one more time, fire those cannons. So with that being said, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business 20-17 over the Minnesota Vikings for the day once again. Not great numbers to write home about, but Baker Mayfield gets it done. 21 for 34, 173, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Mike Evans leads the way, 6 for 66, 1 touchdown. There, of course, right before halftime, 28-yard. Chris Godwin, big catches today, 5 for 51. Devin White leading the tackle party with 12. Of course, so many great performances. We'll be back, like I said, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. But tune into the JP Peterson Show. If you can't wait until then, on Monday, we'll be live from the patio. 3 things here on a Bucs win on a Sunday, a Victory Monday coming up. You ready? Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? For fans of the sports web, it's your time. And of course, the Tampa Bay sports fan and Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, it's your time. Have a great night. Go Bucs, and we'll see you tomorrow night on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.